The station lost power for 12 seconds. That was all. Lights died without warning. Screens went black. Gravity flickered. Ships in nearby docks drifted off course. For a brief moment, the heart of the galaxy stopped beating. Then chaos followed. Trade routes collapsed as navigation beacons failed. Automated ships froze in open space. Defense grids shut down across 3 nearby sectors, leaving borders exposed. Far from the station, 3 battle fleets received false signals. Old enemy markers appeared where allies should have been. Weapons fired. By the time commanders realized the mistake, ships were already burning. When power returned, the station exploded with noise. Alarms screamed, officials shouted orders, security forces rushed through corridors, emergency systems struggled to repair the damage. No one understood what had happened. No one blamed the human, at first. Elias stood quietly inside a command chamber as leaders argued around him. Massive screens showed reports flooding in, losses, confusion, demands for answers. "System failure," one official said. "Sabotage," another argued. "Impossible," a third replied. "Our systems are secure." Elias watched them carefully. 12 seconds. That was all he had needed. He had not destroyed anything. He had not hacked deeply. He had only redirected a single timing signal, one the station trusted completely. A weakness hidden behind confidence. The arguments grew louder. Fear crept into their voices. Pride began to crack. Finally, one leader turned toward Elias. "You were accessing our systems," the alien said. "What did you see?" Elias met his eyes. "I saw balance and how easily it breaks." The room went quiet. Then Elias spoke again, his voice calm, almost gentle. "That was a test." Silence spread across the chamber like a shock wave. Every eye turned to him. "A test?" someone whispered. Elias nodded. He stepped forward and tapped the control panel. New images appeared on the screens. Flowcharts, power paths, communication lines. He pointed to a single connection. "This," he said, "controls time synchronization across your networks." The leaders stared. "You built your systems to be fast, not flexible. Everything listens to one signal." He moved his finger. When that signal paused, everything else followed. He did not threaten them. He did not smile. He did not raise his voice. He simply explained. "If I had wanted, I could have kept it off longer. Minutes, hours." Someone swallowed hard. "Or I could have changed what your systems saw. Not darkness, lies." Fear filled the room. For the first time, they looked at Elias not as a relic, but as a danger. One official tried to sound strong. "You endangered lives." Elias nodded once. "Yes," he said, "so do your systems, every day." No one answered. The truth was clear. The galaxy had built power without understanding risk. It had trusted machines more than minds. It had forgotten caution. And now it had awakened a human. When the meeting ended, guards escorted Elias away. This time their weapons were raised. As doors closed behind him, Elias heard hurried voices and emergency orders echoing through the halls. The galaxy had just felt its first regret. 12 seconds. That was all it took. And humans never played fair.
The decision was made in secret. The Galactic Council could not allow Elias Ward to exist. He was not an army. He was not a fleet. But he had already proven more dangerous than both. His knowledge spread fear faster than weapons ever could. So the order was simple: erase him. They did not announce it. They did not warn the station. They acted quietly, the way powerful beings always did when they were afraid. First came the assassins. Silent figures moved through the station at night, using cloaks and dampened weapons. They slipped past guards and cameras, certain they would find Elias sleeping. But his room was empty. The air vents opened instead, releasing a harmless gas that knocked the assassins unconscious. Station security found them hours later, confused and ashamed. Then came the hackers. The Council unleashed advanced artificial minds designed to break through any defense. They attacked Elias's access points, his data links, his old human systems. They found nothing. Every pathway led in circles. Every attack triggered false targets. The hackers were trapped in loops they could not escape. By the time they realized it, their own systems were compromised. Finally, the Council sent kill squads. Heavy armor, full authorization, no mercy. They cornered Elias near a transit hub, weapons locked onto his chest. Elias raised his hands calmly, and the station lights flickered. Emergency alerts sounded across multiple sectors at once. News feeds exploded with leaked information, secret treaties, hidden wars, illegal experiments. Each empire saw its own sins exposed. Allies turned on allies. The kill squads froze as new orders flooded in. Retreat, defend, contain damage. Elias walked away. He had already predicted every move. Elias did not fight directly. He never needed to. Instead, he leaked secrets at the right time. Not everything, just enough. He let fear grow on its own. He whispered truths into places already full of doubt. Factions began to distrust each other. Old grudges returned. Accusations flew across council chambers. The galaxy turned inward. Old human ideas spread quietly. Mutually assured destruction. No one wanted to strike first because everyone feared what would follow. Strategic patience. Elias waited while his enemies rushed. Time did the work for him. Psychological warfare. He never attacked minds directly. He only gave them reasons to attack themselves. The council met again, this time in panic. "How do we stop him?" one leader demanded. Another answered honestly, "We already can't." They had built empires on force. Elias had built influence on understanding. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Trade slowed, fleets stayed docked, trust evaporated. The galaxy realized the truth too late. Humans did not need strength. They did not need vast armies or powerful weapons. They only needed time. And Elias Ward had all the time in the universe. The next test did not begin right away. Instead, a message was sent to the highest authority in the arena, the Galactic Council. What had happened could not be ignored. Systems had not failed, rules had not been broken, yet the result made no sense. The Council demanded answers. Within minutes, sealed human records were requested, files that had remained untouched since humans first joined the Alliance, training data, military studies, psychological reports. The instructors gathered in a private chamber as the files opened. At first, they laughed. "Primitive methods," one said. "Outdated training," said another. But the laughter faded quickly. They saw images of human children running drills again and again. Not once, not twice, thousands of times. Reflex training began early. Hands moved before thought, bodies reacted before fear. Mistakes were corrected immediately. The next files showed stress combat. Humans trained while alarms screamed, while lights flashed, while instructors shouted. Their heart rates were pushed high, their minds were forced to stay calm. Then came the fear tests. Humans fought in darkness, in noise, under pressure. They were trained to function while afraid.
One instructor paused the footage. "They train while panicking?" he asked. Another shook his head. "No, they train so panic no longer stops them." The records continued. Humans did not rely on energy shields alone. They did not trust technology to save them. Systems failed, power ran out. So humans trained their bodies. Instinct mattered more than thought. Repetition mattered more than talent. Pain was not avoided. Pain was used. Broken bones, bruises, failure after failure. Every mistake was a lesson. Every loss was expected. Speed was not just an advantage. Speed was survival. One alien general stood silently at the back of the room. His skin slowly changed color, a sign of deep shock. He understood now. Other species built armor to protect themselves. Humans built reflexes to end fights before protection was needed. Other species waited for orders. Humans reacted instantly. The general stepped forward. "This test," he said slowly, "it was never fair." The instructors turned toward him. "Not for the human?" one asked. The general shook his head. "No," he said, "not for us." Silence filled the chamber. They had believed humans were weak because they looked fragile. They had believed technology made them equal. They were wrong. The test measured reaction time. Humans had turned reaction into instinct. The general looked at the next scheduled test. Live opponents. No warning, no delay. He swallowed. "If we continue," he said quietly, "we are not testing a cadet. We are testing a species that learned long ago." He paused. "How to survive by being faster than fear." And somewhere in the arena, the human waited patiently, ready to prove it again.
The arena changed. The smooth training floor split apart, sliding into new shapes. Walls rose from below, platforms shifted, lights dimmed and turned red. This was no longer a controlled test. This was a combat zone. The drones were gone. Now there were live opponents. Alien fighters stepped onto the arena floor from different entrances. They wore full combat gear. Energy shields shimmered around them. Their weapons were active. They were veterans. This test had no warning signal, no countdown, no mercy rules. The instructors watched closely from above. Some believed this would finally expose the humans' limits. Against real fighters, instinct would not be enough. The human stood still. She did not ask how many opponents there were. She did not look for cover. Her eyes moved slowly, reading the space. The first attack came without sound. An alien lunged from behind, weapon raised. The human moved. Not fast. Perfect. She stepped aside at the last moment. The attacker missed and stumbled forward. She used his momentum, twisting his arm and sending him into the ground. He did not rise again. Another attacker fired from the side. She dropped low. The shot passed over her head. She rolled forward, closed the distance, and struck once. The shield failed. The fighter collapsed. More attacks came, from above, from behind, from both sides at once. The human did not panic. She flowed. Every movement connected to the next. She used the arena itself, walls, platforms, angles. She never wasted energy. She never struck twice when once was enough. The aliens attacked with power. She responded with control. One by one, the fighters fell, disarmed, disabled, alive. The entire fight lasted seconds. The final opponent hesitated. He saw the others on the ground. He saw the human standing calmly in the center. He lowered his weapon. The test ended. Again, too fast. The arena lights returned to normal. No cheers followed, no celebration. The alien cadets sat frozen in their seats. Their faces showed disbelief, fear, respect. The instructors said nothing. They checked the time. Again, the system struggled to record it properly. This was not training speed. This was combat mastery.
The lead instructor leaned back slowly. His voice, when it came, was quiet. She could have killed them. Another instructor nodded. She chose not to. That made it worse. The human stood among fallen enemies, breathing steady, waiting for instructions. She was no longer being measured. She was being observed. No one in the arena saw a cadet anymore. They did not see a student. They did not see a recruit. They saw a weapon, one that thought, adapted, and decided when not to destroy. And for the first time, the galactic instructors wondered if they had invited something into their ranks that the galaxy was not ready to face. The instructors did not return to the arena right away. They met in a sealed chamber above it, away from the cadets and cameras. The room was quiet, heavy with thought. No one argued, no one laughed. They all understood now. If a human could end a test before it truly began, then a human could end a battle the same way. And if one human could do this, then an entire species could change how wars were fought. The lead instructor spoke first. "We did not test her," he said. "We tested ourselves." No one disagreed. Another instructor opened the final combat report. The numbers were clear. Reaction time beyond system limits, decision-making under pressure, complete control over force. "She chose not to kill," one said quietly. "That was a decision, not a weakness." The alien general from the council nodded slowly. "That makes her more dangerous," he said. They reached a single conclusion. Punishment was impossible. Ignoring humans was no longer an option. The only choice was partnership. The human was called forward. She entered the chamber alone. She stood straight, calm, waiting. Her face showed no pride and no fear. The lead instructor stepped closer. "Your actions exceeded the purpose of this test," he said. "You have shown abilities beyond any trainee in this program." She listened without speaking. He continued, "The council offers you a command rank." The room grew still. "Alliance status for your species," he added. Some instructors shifted uncomfortably. "And authority in future operations involving joint forces." This offer was rare, almost unheard of. The human considered it. She did not answer right away. Then she spoke. "We will not be used," she said. Her voice was steady. "Humans will not be weapons pointed by others. We will not be tools deployed without choice." The instructors exchanged glances. She continued, "If we fight, it will be beside you, not beneath you." The alien general studied her for a long moment. Then he gave a slow nod. "Partners," he said. The word carried weight. The council accepted her conditions. They had no better option. The human inclined her head slightly. "Then we agree," she said. When she left the chamber, the instructors remained silent. One of them finally spoke. "We invited humans to learn from us," he said. The general looked toward the arena below. "No," he replied. "We invited them and discovered what true control looks like." Outside, the cadets waited, unaware that power within the galaxy had just shifted. And for the first time, the instructors did not ask what humans could do for the Alliance. They asked what the Alliance must do to stand beside them. The story did not stay inside the arena. It traveled. Within hours, reports spread through secure channels. Within days, whispers reached distant systems. Within weeks, the entire galaxy knew something had changed. A human had ended a test before it began. No rules were broken, no systems failed, no lives were taken, and yet nothing was ever the same again. The Galactic Council released a short statement. It was careful, neutral, calm, but behind closed doors, fear guided every word. A single line from the internal report escaped into public space. Do not test humans unless you are ready to lose. The sentence spread faster than any official warning. Merchants repeated it in spaceports. Commanders shared it in private briefings. Young cadets whispered it during training. The galactic training arena was closed soon after. Not for repairs, not for upgrades. It was shut down permanently. The reaction trials were removed from the program. No instructor wanted to measure speed again, not after learning what real reaction looked like. The instructors moved on to safer subjects: strategy, theory, distance warfare, anything that did not involve humans. The woman at the center of the story was reassigned. She did not seek fame. She did not give speeches. She returned to her people and continued training others. Humans did not celebrate. They prepared. Human alliance fleets changed their tactics. Timers were adjusted. Command structures were rewritten. For the first time, alien forces trained to react faster, not to attack harder. It was never enough. Whenever a new species joined the alliance, they asked the same question: are humans truly that dangerous? The answer was always the same. The instructors would pause. Their expressions would grow serious. They are not dangerous, they would say. They are decisive. When pressed for details, the instructors never explained technique or numbers. They shared a story instead. They spoke of an arena, of a test meant to last 10 minutes, of a human who didn't even break a sweat. And they ended with one final sentence: they finished the test before anyone could blink. The words carried weight, not as a threat, as a warning, as a truth earned through experience. Far away on human worlds, training continued as it always had. Children learned drills, soldiers learned control, speed was practiced, fear was faced. Humans did not change. The galaxy did. And from that day forward, every commander, every council member, and every instructor remembered one simple rule: if humans are standing calmly, the fight is already over.